comparing rental methods here in California. This is like the traditional BRRRR method, and then this is in response to a question about why we don't add ADUs to improve cash flow for our rentals. So we have an ADU BRRRR example on the right side. So this is a real life example. These are real numbers on a flip that we did. We purchased it for $220,000. The rehab was about $60,000. At the end of the day, we actually sold that property for $430,000. And we kind of were explaining why we don't keep these as rentals in this market, at least right now. So if we were to get a $430,000 valuation on appraisal, 75% of that would be a $280,000 loan on that property. So the mortgage payment would be $1,600, and this property would rent out for $1,800. So you can see we're capturing our full investment, 75% of $430,000. So you could actually pull out more and recoup more money and actually get some profit as well. But for this case, that would kind of kill your cash flow. For this case, our mortgage payment is just based off the $280,000, which recoups our initial investment, all of our cash back out of the property. So the mortgage payment is $1,600 a month, and this property would rent out for $1,800 a month. So $200 a month in positive cash flow is pretty good. It's not terrible. So I mean, $200 cash flow per month isn't really enough to say if you had a large expense like a AC unit go out, or you have to change the roof or something like that. That pretty much wipes out your profit for a couple years, actually. So that's basically why we don't do rentals in California until we can start getting these properties for a lot cheaper. And this is a good deal. Obviously, you can see we almost doubled the value of the property putting $60,000 into it. So it's a very good flip. On this flip, I think we made about $100,000, give or take. So someone asked why we don't add an ADU to the property to improve cash flow, and I'll kind of give you the example and why we don't do that. So same purchase price, $220,000. The rehab, I'm adding about $200,000 to construct an ADU. That would be for about 1,000 square foot ADU. It's about $200 a square foot, give or take, here in California to build that. That is going to take a long time to build as well. We're talking about 8 months to a year to actually have it completed and be able to rent that property out, because you're going to go through the city, engineering, planning department. All that stuff is taking a lot longer now with COVID especially. So you're talking about a way longer hold time, which is going to increase your holding costs. Obviously, I don't even really take those numbers in consideration when I'm doing this, but just part of it. So the value after you adding that unit in the back would be about $500,000. So you're definitely getting some value out of it, $70,000 more in value. But you're investing an extra $200,000 to get that $70,000 in value. I don't think that's really worth it. But either way, 75% loan to value on a $500,000 valuation would be a $375,000 loan. Another issue is on the other example, we pulled out all of our cash, and we could have pulled out more, but we recouped 100% of our investment. Over here, the maximum amount that you're going to be able to pull out is $375,000, and we really invested $480,000 over here. So there's about $100,000 of our cash that's stuck in the property. To me, that's not a BRRRR. I mean, it is a BRRRR. You're pulling out a lot of the money, but I like doing the 100% BRRRR and getting out all of our investment money. So off of $375,000 loan, the mortgage payment is going to be $2,300, and the rent obviously did go up. I think that back unit would be like a one-bedroom apartment style with a kitchen, would probably rent for about $1,000 a month in this area. So you're definitely increasing your rental amount to $2,800. This with the mortgage payment, your cash flow is about $500 a month. Definitely better than $200 a month, but remember we have an extra $100,000 invested in the property. So you have $100,000 invested in property for an extra $300 per month. Again, I don't think that's really worth it. I would like to see these numbers to be up towards $1,000 a month to be able to make sense out of keeping one of these as a rental. So that's a little breakdown on why we don't keep rentals and comparing a BRRRR to like a BRRRR with an ADU, at least in our market in Southern California. So there you go.